Have you ever wondered why bad things happen to good people? Or why some of life's greatest challenges seem impossible to overcome? You may have asked yourself, why is this happening to me? What if I told you that everything, yes, everything, happens for a reason? Not because of bad luck, but because of deep spiritual principles that guide us through life's ups and downs. Section 1. Buddhist Wisdom, Understanding Life's Events. Buddhism teaches us that nothing happens by accident. Every event, whether good or bad, has its roots in karma, the law of cause and effect. The idea behind karma is simple yet profound. Our actions, thoughts, and intentions shape our present experiences. And these experiences, in turn, will affect our future. In addition to karma, another key Buddhist principle is impermanence. Nothing in life stays the same forever. Things change, grow, and eventually fade away. Relationships, possessions, even our emotions. Everything is subject to the law of impermanence. By understanding and accepting this truth, we can begin to let go of attachments and find peace. Buddhism also emphasizes interconnectedness. Every event and every action has a ripple effect. Life's events are interconnected, and nothing happens in isolation. When we grasp this idea, we see challenges not as random misfortunes, but as part of a grand, interconnected journey that leads us toward personal growth and enlightenment. Blank. Section 2. The Story of the Broken Teacup, Acceptance of Impermanence. One of the most famous Buddhist stories that encapsulates the lesson of impermanence involves a young monk and his teacher. The monk was frustrated with life. Why do bad things happen to good people? He asked his teacher. His master, a wise and patient man, smiled and handed him a delicate porcelain teacup. The monk admired the cup and praised its craftsmanship. The teacher then gently let go of the cup, allowing it to fall to the ground where it shattered into pieces. The young monk gasped, "Why did you do that?" The master replied calmly, quote, "I loved the cup when it was whole. And I love it now that it is broken. I knew from the moment I held it that one day it would break." This simple act demonstrated the profound truth of impermanence. Just as we love things when they are whole, we must also accept and love them when they change or break. By understanding this truth, we can accept life's inevitable changes with grace and peace. Section 3. Suffering as a Teacher. In Buddhism, suffering is not viewed as a punishment or a random event, it is a teacher. Life's hardships, whether they are physical, emotional, or spiritual, are opportunities for us to grow and refine our character. Without suffering, we wouldn't learn the virtues of patience, resilience, or understanding. Let me share a personal story. There was a time when I lost a job that I had poured my heart into for years. Initially, I felt devastated. I thought, why me? But looking back, I now realize that losing that job was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It pushed me out of my comfort zone and led me to explore new opportunities that I would never have considered otherwise. The pain I felt at that time became the foundation for something far greater. In Buddhist philosophy, this is akin to the story of coal turning into a diamond. A Zen master once pointed to a piece of coal and a diamond and said, "Both come from the same source. But only the diamond has been shaped by pressure. Hardships and suffering are the pressure that refine us. Just as fire refines gold." Section 4. The Traveler Lost in the Desert, Finding Hidden Blessings. There's also a powerful Zen story that highlights how what seems like a setback can actually be a hidden blessing. A traveler found himself lost in the desert. Exhausted and parched, he stumbled upon a small tree and decided to rest there. He was frustrated and angry, asking, "Why did I have to lose my way?" What he didn't know was that just beyond the next hill, a violent sandstorm was brewing. Had he continued walking, he would have been caught in its fury. The delay he experienced by losing his way was, in fact, a blessing in disguise. This story shows how life's setbacks, failures, and disappointments often protect us from greater harm or lead us to something far better in the future. What seems like a misfortune at the time may actually be a redirection to something greater. Section 5. The power of patience and resilience. Patience is one of the most important virtues in Buddhism. The Buddha once said, "Just as a storm passes, so too will pain." Life's struggles are not permanent. Just as the seasons change, so will our difficulties. When we practice patience, we allow the natural course of life to unfold, and we learn to accept whatever comes our way. In my own life, I've encountered moments where everything seemed to be falling apart. However, with time, I realized that those moments of difficulty were necessary for my personal growth. Just as coal becomes a diamond under pressure, our challenges shape us into stronger and more resilient individuals. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Section 6. Letting go. Embrace the flow of life. One of the greatest sources of suffering in life comes from our attempts to control everything. We resist change, try to force certain outcomes, and cling to the past. But true peace comes from letting go and trusting in the flow of life. As the Zen proverb says, "Let go or be dragged." When we surrender to life's natural unfolding, we open ourselves up to peace and contentment. Even when things don't go as planned, we can trust that life is guiding us exactly where we need to be. Just as the traveler found shelter, we too can trust that life's detours are often leading us to greater wisdom and fulfillment. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Section 7. The role of compassion in overcoming challenges. In Buddhism, compassion is one of the most important practices for overcoming life's difficulties. It's the ability to feel empathy for others' suffering and to respond with kindness. But what's often overlooked is how compassion can also help us deal with our own challenges. Take a moment and think about someone you know who is struggling. Perhaps it's a family member, a friend, or even a stranger. Imagine the kindness and understanding you would offer them. Now, ask yourself, do you offer yourself that same level of compassion when you're going through tough times? When facing a hardship, it's easy to become self-critical and overwhelmed by negative emotions. But Buddhism teaches us to approach our own suffering with the same compassion we would offer to others. By being kind and gentle with ourselves, we create the mental space needed to heal, reflect, and grow. A beautiful Buddhist parable illustrates this. There was once a woman who lost her child. Overcome with grief, she went to the Buddha for help. The Buddha told her to gather mustard seeds from any household that had never experienced death. The woman traveled from home to home, but no one could give her a seed. Every family had experienced death. When she returned to the Buddha, she realized that her suffering was shared by all and that she was not alone in her pain. This story teaches us that suffering is universal, and by recognizing this, we can develop compassion not only for others but for ourselves. We all experience pain, but it's how we respond to it, through understanding and compassion, that determines how we heal. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Section 8. Acceptance and transformation. The art of letting go. Acceptance is one of the core practices in Buddhism, but it is not about resignation or passivity. Acceptance in the Buddhist sense means recognizing the truth of a situation and letting go of our resistance to it. When we resist change, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. There is a famous Zen story that perfectly illustrates this point. A Zen master had a large garden filled with beautiful flowers. Every day, he would tend to the flowers, carefully pruning, watering, and nurturing them. One day, a young student asked him, "Master, why do you spend so much time caring for these flowers?" The master smiled and replied, "I do not care for the flowers because I want them to stay forever. I care for them because I know that they will fade. And when they do, I will be ready to let them go." This story teaches us the profound wisdom of letting go. By accepting that everything, whether relationships, jobs, or even moments of happiness, is impermanent, we free ourselves from the burden of clinging to what will eventually pass. Letting go does not mean abandoning things, rather, it means embracing them fully while they are here and releasing them when their time has come. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Section 9. How to cultivate inner peace amidst chaos. Life is unpredictable. We all face challenges, chaos, and confusion, but the key to navigating life's storms lies in cultivating inner peace. Buddhism offers several practices that can help us cultivate a calm, centered mind, even in the midst of turmoil. One of these practices is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. It allows us to experience life as it is, without being swept away by our emotions or thoughts. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to observe our reactions to difficult situations rather than becoming overwhelmed by them. Another powerful tool is meditation. Meditation helps us train our minds to focus and calm the inner chatter that often leads to stress and anxiety. Through meditation, we can connect with the present moment and develop a sense of inner tranquility that remains stable even when external circumstances are chaotic. A wonderful Zen saying encapsulates this idea. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. When we cultivate inner peace through mindfulness and meditation, we realize that we are connected to something far greater than our immediate struggles. No matter how chaotic the world around us may seem, the peace we cultivate within ourselves can withstand any storm. Section 10. Finding Purpose in Adversity, the Seed of Wisdom. There is a profound Buddhist teaching that suggests that every difficulty we face holds the seed of wisdom. Challenges are not simply obstacles to overcome, but opportunities to cultivate virtues like patience, strength, and wisdom. One story that illustrates this idea beautifully is the story of the Buddha and the arrow. One day, the Buddha was walking with his followers when a man shot an arrow at him. The Buddha calmly avoided the arrow and turned to his disciples, asking, "Why does the man shoot arrows at me?" The disciples were puzzled and asked, "Master, why would anyone shoot arrows at you?" The Buddha explained, "The arrow was shot not out of malice, but because it is part of the cycle of life. The true question is, how do you respond to the arrow? Do you allow it to wound your heart, or do you understand that it is simply a part of the path?" This story teaches us that life's difficulties are like arrows. We cannot always control when or how they come, but we do have control over how we respond. The more we learn to respond to challenges with mindfulness and wisdom, the more we cultivate strength and resilience. Section 11. The Path to Enlightenment, Finding Peace Within. Ultimately, the Buddhist path is a journey toward enlightenment, a state of inner peace, wisdom, and compassion. Enlightenment is not a distant goal but a process that unfolds with each step we take on the path. The teachings of the Buddha provide a roadmap for navigating life's challenges with grace and wisdom. By practicing mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance, we can move closer to this state of enlightenment, regardless of the external circumstances. In the words of the Buddha, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. Conclusion. The greater purpose behind life's challenges. As we conclude, remember that life's challenges, hardships, and even the moments of suffering, have a deeper purpose. They are not random events, but rather opportunities for growth, wisdom, and transformation. By embracing the wisdom of impermanence, understanding karma, and practicing compassion, we can navigate these challenges with greater peace and clarity. The key takeaway here is simple. Everything happens for a reason. Your struggles, your pain, and your triumphs are all part of a greater plan that leads to your ultimate growth and enlightenment. Trust the process, and know that even in the darkest times, you are being guided towards a higher purpose. Final call to action. If you found value in this video and it resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who might need to hear these teachings. Also, feel free to leave a comment below and share how you have experienced the teachings of karma, impermanence, or compassion in your life. Remember, life is a journey, and we are all walking this path together. Thank you for watching, and may peace be with you on your journey.